Hello, you're here because you love Mexican. You love Mexican, everything Mexican. You love nachos. You love tacos, hard shell, soft shell, enchiladas, tortillas, quesadilla, you name it. But you know what doesn't love Mexican? Your stomach. Your stomach does not like the Mexican. And the reason you're watching this video is to understand why. If you're a person that loves your Mexican but your stomach hates it, then keep on watching. Hey guys, my name's Dasha, I'm 28 years of age, and my lifelong love is food. I love food, you love food, we all love food. Who doesn't love it? It brings everybody together and it makes the world go round. Except for when you eat the food and then your stomach feels bad and then the rest of your day, night, morning and week is out. You know what I'm talking about. You're sitting on the toilet and you're having cramps and God knows what else is happening. That's not a good time. Now, I am one of those people that like to learn things the hard way. I'm sure there are a lot of people out there too. You know, where you eat something and you didn't feel so good, but then you try it again just in case. Who knows? Maybe this time it'll be better. Second time comes around and you still feel terrible. Third time around, you're like, nah, third time lucky. We got this. Third time comes around and it's still no good. This is the experience that I have with Mexican food, my dear friends. It's a love-hate relationship. Now, the problem with Mexican, which I was in denial about, is that every time we'd have Mexican, or I would have Mexican, the aftermath, the cramps, the pain, the toilet time. Now, you're probably sitting here thinking, why Mexican? Why does Mexican make me feel so bad? I mean, let me know in the comments below if you have ever had this experience with Mexican food. I don't know. Well, I know now, but back then I didn't know why. Every time I was having the Mexicano, why I was doing this to my body, right? It's like, I love you so much, but why you hate my stomach so much, right? And it became my number one cuisine that I could not eat anymore. So I want to basically explain to you guys, if you ever eat Mexican, why this would be happening to you. So really simple. 3 things that are really important to understand about our digestive system. If our body finds it really hard to break down the type of food that you're eating, it will create excess gas. That's right. If it's hard to digest food, your stomach and digestive system will create excess gas whilst trying to break it down. It's like working really hard and it's creating more air in your stomach. Imagine a little man just and there's like steam coming out, right? Yeah. Number 2 is that when you eat really fast, you actually swallow more air. And certain foods that require a lot more chewing or ingesting a lot of it in one go usually means that you will eat more air. When you eat more air, it generally creates more gas in your system. Fun. And there's a third thing, but now I've forgotten what that third thing is. So just move on. Irrelevant. Whatever it is. I'll put it down in the description below, or I'll actually just put it up in this video somewhere. I've forgotten what the third thing is. Anyway, moving on to the Mexicano and why it's such a problem cuisine for a lot of people. So, Mexican food, a lot of it is made out of corn. So, nachos, your tortillas, your tacos, pretty much everything has corn in it. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, corn? What's corn got to do with it? Well, let me tell something to you. Corn has everything to do with it. Our body can't digest absolutely every single food that we put in our bodies. So remember, the number one point of hard to digest foods creates more gas. Corn, believe it or not, is one of those things, one of those foods. So corn actually requires a particular enzyme, which is the scientific word, but essentially a type of something, mechanism in our body, to break that food down completely. So we don't actually have it in our bodies. Our human body does not have the tool, the enzyme, to break down corn completely. So oftentimes you'll find when you're actually eating corn cobs, as they say in America, you'll actually find the corn itself. Now, I know we're getting into a bit of information, but you actually find whole pieces of corn in your toilet bowl. Sorry guys, I went there. But that is because our body actually can't digest it properly. Now, all these nacho chips and everything is actually made out of corn. So when it's trying to digest the food, it's finding it really difficult to do that. Now, the other thing that our body finds really hard and makes it difficult to digest in general food is fried oily. So really oily food, it slows down our digestive system, and it basically coats it with like a coating which makes it really hard. Like imagine you're trying to run and then someone just like puts a 100-kilo vest on you and you're like trying to like do this. Yes, great visual, I know. That is essentially what's happening to the food inside your body. So when you're eating, let's say, nachos, not only are you eating the chips that are made out of corn, but those chips are actually fried most of the time during the creation process. So not only is it hard for your stomach to digest the corn, you're making it harder to digest because of the oil that it was cooked in. And then on top of that, when you're eating a nacho, you're grabbing usually a lot of food and you're putting a lot of it in there. Now, when you're eating a chip, there's actually air a lot of the time in your mouth, extra air whilst you're eating that chip. Because you have to bite large, sorry, this is a great visual, but you have to open your mouth because it's a big chip with lots of topping on it, and then you have to chew. So now you created a lot of air whilst you're gulping down that food. So remember point 2 that I mentioned at the start of the video, that extra air in your stomach creates extra gas. So not only have you got a chip made out of corn, which is hard to digest, it's created in oil. So that's slowing down the digestion of it and creating extra gas. And on top of that, you've actually swallowed extra air. And all of that in there is just creating this wonderful, beautiful sea of gas. You see what I'm going with this? I mean, mix it in with the, sour cream and the cheese, which also creates a digestion problem and oftentimes gas and a whole bunch of other issues. You know what I'm saying? Then you've got the beans in there. So beans actually have high fiber content, high carb content. Carbs will also increase the amount of gas that goes through your system. So the nachos that you're eating, the chips themselves made out of corn, they're fried in oil. You've got cheese, sour cream, which is dairy, and fats. You got the beans in there oftentimes. So that in itself is like a concoction for death for your stomach. I mean, and you're sprinkling it in there with a bit of guacamole and some salsa and stuff like that. And then you just often just shoveling it, you know. When you're Mexicans, you're down in margaritas, you're having a good time, you're getting drunk and sloppy, and everybody knows the drunker you get, the more you're eating, the more you're scoffing down. And then you're going to find yourself a few hours later maybe keeled over with stomach cramps and like, oh, why do I hate myself? And like sharp stabbing pains and... So you're probably thinking to yourself, well, cool, I still want to be able to have my Mexican. How do I fix this problemo? Simple. So, if you can't substitute corn chips for any other type of chip, I generally stay away from the nachos, so the chips. Tacos that are hard shell, I will stay away from because again, it's a fried corn chip, just large, essentially. So I stay away from those. I'll go for the soft shell tacos. I'll go for, you know, the soft burritos, like your general kind of burritos, enchiladas. Like, you go for your life, girl. Basically, anything that's hard and corn, shell, chip type, just stay away from those dishes and you should be more or less okay. So Mexican in itself is a fine cuisine. It's just a couple of dishes that may really lead you down the wrong path. So that's my kind of little tip. So if you are going out for Mexican, go for your life, enjoy. Just have minimal amounts of corn chips and corn hard shell tacos. Everything else, you should be sweet, good to go. Hope y'all enjoy your Mexican foods. And let me know if this helped you guys at all. Let me know if you want to hear any more food tips and tricks because your girl loves to eat and she got lots of them. If you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm telling you things. I have been uploading daily, but at the moment I'm going to start doing it weekly just because work schedule will not work with daily uploads. And I definitely want to give you guys some good quality content. So have an awesome day and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.